Hi everyone, this is daveac.blip.tv and this is my vblog 106 for Friday the 30th of July 2010. And straight away let me just say to Ian the Sixth Doctor, my co-host on the Cult and Collective podcast, happy birthday for tomorrow. Now, it's change and updates and not a moment too soon, Highlander, because we've got an awful lot for me to fit in, and I want to fit it in today in under 15 minutes, and let me explain why. But first of all, no classical music and no book, but I have got a DVD to show you, and of course wine at the end. Now, I record this as a blip.tv video, but there are other places on the web like VodPod and actually from my Facebook page and from my blog page that you can see it. Well, one of the pieces of news that I have today before I do with my initial Doctor Who stuff is that YouTube have announced that they are extending the length of videos you can now post on YouTube from 10 minutes up to 15 minutes. So what I want to try and do this week is to keep my show just under 15 minutes so I can both load it up to my blip.tv site and to my YouTube site to give people a chance to see what these videos are like. Now, I want to add on that the other part of the change is I'm not yet changing to high definition. I tried it before and it caused some particular problems for some of my viewers. But I really do feel I'm going to have to, grasp the nettle, as it were, and move to 720p in a few episodes' time. I realise that what I will do then is one of two things, and this is the reason for the demo I practiced today with YouTube. One possibility is that I record this at 720p, and that is the one that goes up on YouTube, and then I can downsize it to what this one is, 640 by 360 for the other elements of the internet. So just a pre-warning of some other changes in the future. Now, let's start the show and try and fit it in 15 minutes. So I want to get the wine in at the end. Okay, no Doctor Who podcasting news from the Gallifreyan Embassy. The last one that went up is the episode 204, which includes the Terry Malloy interview. But there is one little bit of information from that, and that is that although Terry Malloy obviously played Davros, he's also well known as being a character in The Archers, but he's also one of the characters in the Scary Fires Big Finish audios. And one piece of news from that is that the BBC 7 radio show is taking up the Scary Fires. Now, the one great thing about people who live outside the UK is that BBC 7 is available online and is not region locked to the UK. So that is some good Doctor Who news. Right. Cult and Collective, the podcast that I co-host with Ian, the Sixth Doctor, who I said his birthday is tomorrow. Well, last Sunday we did our wrap-up show of the latest series of Doctor Who. Series Finarg, Series 1 of Matt Smith, Series 5. It's ended in the States, so after about a 2 or 3 week gap of doing each of the episodes, and we also did, by the way, commentaries on each of those episodes, and they are all available on iTunes or our TalkShoe site, and that's TalkShoe ID 54821. Well, we did the wrap-up show, went well over 2.5 hours. Please, I hope you will download that and listen to it. This coming Sunday, we're moving mostly away from Doctor Who, although I'm sure Doctor Who will get a mention, because we're doing about alternative histories and universes. And this will be on Sunday, the 1st of August, 2010, at our usual time of 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And for people in the UK, that is 7 p.m. British Summer Time. So we're talking about films like Frequency, Doppelganger, Sliding Doors, Dark City, where it's either an element or the premise of the story. TV series like Sliders, and particular episodes of series like Red Dwarf, and indeed from Doctor Who, Father's Day. So that's the topic. Please come and, and Inferno, of course. Please come and join us Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Right, that's that news. Now, there's an awful lot of updates, which is part of the reason I said that. One of the updates is the Pro 9000 webcam I used to record this has had a major update, and I had to really find my way around, and I'm hoping the settings are okay, and that's why for the moment I'm staying at this 640 by 360, but I may well be moving soon, as I said, to the higher 720p setting. Okay, well, updates. Google for Images has had an update, the way it displays what are now something like 5 billion images, and allows you to see them in a larger size and get more on the page. I will show you that with a little page when I move the camera later, as I move the camera to tell you about the DVD later. Also, there's been updates to Firefox browser, to version 3.6.8. To my PlayStation 3, there's been another software update, and that is now up to version 3.4.1. And there has been one or two other pieces of news for the BBC. For the iPad, I've created a marvellous iPad app for catching the BBC News site. And I'm hoping when my son comes down to stay for a week next week, he's got an iPad. I'm hoping I might be able to demonstrate that on one of these video pods. What else? Oh, there's quite a lot. There's some new Apple machines coming out. The new where is it? New Apple Mac Pros with the 27-inch screen, and they can have one of the new machines coming up can have up to 12 cores on board. That is real serious power, and they've beefed up the graphics on it as well. What else? Ooh, I think that's it, because I'm trying to be, as you can tell, garbly and quick. Sorry about that. The other pieces of news, well, I mentioned last week that today working lunch has finished. Very sad news. Tweeted about that yesterday. That's a real institution, or has been an institution here in the UK. So I'm sad that that has ended. And that is a TV show, by the way, not an internet thing. And in actual fact, talking TV, I've got the Women's Open Golf on my TV at the side of me, just muted. So let me think. I think that's pretty much all I want to do, because I want to get to the DVD I've got, which I mentioned in the title, is Highlander. I've seen now and watched both series 1 and 2 of the Highlander DVDs. My son managed to get me the German copies that has an English soundtrack on them, because it was never released here in the UK on DVD. But along with that, he sent me, and Mike, you'll be pleased, an anime version of Highlander. Highlander, The Search for Vengeance. And one of the great, and this is by the same people who brought the Adrian Paul Highlander TV series to our screens. There's a nice little poster in here that comes with it. One of the great things is that I only noticed when I started to play it, I haven't watched it all the way through yet, but I've got it set up here, I've watched part of it, it's also co-produced by Stars. Now, Stars is the TV channel that is linking with the BBC to bring Torchwood Series 4 to our screens sometime next year. So, Stars, yeah, I'm becoming a big fan of yours. So, what I will do now is I'm going to move the camera. I'm going to show you those two things I mentioned. Well, the Google Images update. I'm going to show you a new weblog that I'm developing. Thank you to Dr. Robert White of New Media newmediaanswers.com, because he's given me space to have a blog. And this blog is more geared towards the talk show things I do, but it does have information about this blip.tv thing, and I'll show you a little bit about that. Not quite got all the kinks out of it yet, because it's slightly different to operate than a WordPress hosted blog. My main blog is at daveacwordpress.com. This is at newmediaanswers.com, daveac. I'm going to show you those, and then we'll have a little clip before we go to the why. So let's bring the camera around. Let's make sure I've got the screen there. Remember not to shout. And there's the Cultum Collective as search for on Google Images. You can see a lot larger images now, and you can go scroll down. These are from other people lower down, but you get pages and pages and pages of images. And there's one of the images from Second Life. Remember, in August we're having another Gallifreyan Embassy Second Life meetup. So that's that. And very quickly, here is my daveac new media, daveac video blogger and podcaster. I'm on the gallery page because this one's working well, but this is one of the main reasons. The Cultum Collective, because it's not a WordPress hosted site, you can actually have the audio directly on the site and it will play on the site. Got my VodPod widget, which means you can play my video blog directly on there, and all the links to other people's sites, the Rat Network blog, and so on. Okay, let's move the camera over here and hopefully get on with this, because I've only got a little bit of time to finish in 15 minutes. And here's right at the beginning of Highlander, the Search for Vengeance. Play.
Marcus! No, Colin! A warrior came to us without a clan. He fought for us. He died for us. He lived a stranger, but in death he is a Highlander. From today onward, he shall be known as our brother Colin MacLeod of Clan MacLeod.
And I'm going to stop that now. I may actually show another clip of that, because you can tell I'm really under pressure with trying to make sure I get to that YouTube limit of 15 minutes. Okay, let's go straight to the wine, and this will be a little quick one. It's First Cape, the Blue Range, Shiraz, 2009, South Africa, and focus in, David, quickly, because we haven't got time. Okay, and I'm going to taste this very quickly because I think I'm up against my time limit. It's got lots of fruit on the nose. It's not a very complex wine, but I've got peppers and got some spices, but it's mainly a fruit. It's a fairly simple drinking wine, midweek wine, and I'm going to have to stop now because I've got to get this under 15 minutes on YouTube. Join us for the Cultum Collective podcast, Talk Show ID 54821, 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Sunday. Bye.